Hello everyone, I'm Katie, also known as the Introverted Reader. Today's video isn't really gonna be book related as such. I put out on Twitter a while ago that I was thinking about making a video about my mental health journey, just sort of my experience with anxiety and depression. So this is gonna get quite deep. So if you're just here for the books, I understand. Um, but I guess what I want to start off by saying is that my story isn't the same as everybody else's. Everyone else has a different journey, a different story. This is just my experience. Um, I guess these things I've never really acknowledged that depression and anxiety have been a part of me pretty much from a young age. I was bullied a lot as a kid. Just like picked on because I was always different from everyone else. I am on the autistic spectrum. I wasn't fully diagnosed with that till I was of about 24, 25. But it was always who I was. Like we all knew, even when we knew what like autism was and what the autistics the what the spectrum and everything is like about and all that. So there was that, and just a lot of like things that I've gone through in my life have triggered it. um I guess the most recent is sort of started in 2015. I was just in a job where I was not happy. I had been let go from a previous job and got this one. um the environment that I was in and the people that I was working with were not the kindest, to put it lightly. They I don't really want to get into detail about that because it's painful for me to talk about. And I don't want to cry making this video. So just that the end of 2015 was terrible. I mean, 2015 as a whole was probably one of the worst years of my life, apart from 2011 when my best friend passed away. Um, and I just sort of been trying to get myself together and figure out who I am. And I came out. Like, I told my mom I was bisexual, and that blew up in my face because it was one of it's not that it's not sort of kind of true. I just did it at the wrong time, but I didn't really think it through. And now that I'm older, I'm just it's 4 years later, and I'm just sort of like, well, I don't know what I am. All I know is that I'm not straight, but like that's another issue. um and the whole like depression thing, I would have little episodes throughout the year, but um it mostly would trigger sort of around like the seasonal time, like Christmas time. um and like for months, like from about September, especially last year, I was not myself. Everyone around me would notice that I wasn't myself. Like one of my best friends in work asked me, he turns to me and he was like, "Are you okay?" Um, and I just shrugged it off and said, "Yeah, fine." Um, and he was like, "No, is everything all right? Like you don't look yourself." And in the end, I was just honest with him, and I said, "You know what? Actually, I'm not feeling that great. I'm just not feeling myself." And he understood because he's opened up to me in the past, saying how he's dealt with these sort of things as well. So I knew he understood. But some people just don't, and that's the worst thing. Like, I would speak to people close to me, and they would say stuff like, try not to be, you know, just be happy. And it's like, do you really think if I could snap my fingers and just be happy? Like, do you really think it's not that easy? I mean, I'm not saying I haven't had happy times in my life. I have. Like, it's true. Like, the saddest person in the world could be the person sitting next to you cracking jokes. You know what I mean? So, but if there's one thing that I want you to take away from my incessant rambling, is that depression's real, anxiety's real. I've had I had a couple anxiety attacks last year in work that were really bad, and it sort of made me want to just change departments in work, because I work in a department store, and the department that I'm in is the cafe. We have a coffee shop, and I've been there for 3 years, you know, and I love everybody in there that I work with. Like, we're all a team, we're all like a family, and you know, they're all great, they're all wonderful, but like, that environment for me, it's just too much. So I'm hopefully, fingers crossed, God willing, that I'll be out of that department by the end of this year, hopefully. But I guess, and as well, last year when I finally realized I can't be dealing with this anymore, this is making me physically sick, I opened up to a friend. She's actually my pastor's wife, and she's very kind, she's very lovely. She's actually a trained counselor, and I just went to her one day and I was like, do you have any days free during the week where we could maybe meet up and chat? So we did. We went to a nice coffee shop. Triggering for me, I know, but it wasn't the one that I worked in. You know, we went there and we had a really long chat, and I opened up to her about a lot of things that I hadn't really talked about before, and it felt really good. It felt really, really good, and I am hoping to meet up with her again. But then, you know, just like with my work and her work, it's just, we need to work out the schedule. But yeah, I did ask on Twitter if any of you had any questions, and crying over MDZS 24/7. I love this girl. Or at Whiteberry4 would like to ask, how do you even cope with stress? Girl, if you knew me, you would know I can hardly deal with it at all. I mean, my whole spiel is like, if something is stressful, or if something is stressing me to the point where I'm starting to feel anxious, I just walk away. I just walk away. I don't deal with it. I walk away. And if it's something that I have to tackle, then I'll still walk away, but I'll collect myself and then come back. But most times for me, if something is too stressful or it's too triggering for me, I will just walk away and be done with it. Like, I just don't need that. Another question she asked, did you struggle with your body image? Oh yes. Oh yes, yes, yes. For years. It's really only now, at the grand old age of 27, that I have sort of fully accepted myself for who I am, you know, physically. For years I hated my hair. I was made fun of for it for years. You know, curly hair runs in my family, you know, like a lot of women in my family have curly hair. And I would straighten the life out of it. I cut it short for a long time, and it was really only through the encouragement of my best friend that I finally was just like, you know what, take me curls and all, or not at all. Oh jeez, I don't know what's going on with it today. Like, what is this? I have no idea. So yeah, my hair and the way I looked, I developed early, you know, before most of the girls I went to school with. Like, imagine being P7 and having boobs. Yeah. Like being like 10 and a half and these two coming in, you know, like, made me feel very, very insecure. I would wear baggy clothes to hide it. I would think that I was fat when I wasn't, and I'm not. I mean, not there's anything wrong with being a plus size person or anything like that, but like, oh, just looking in the mirror for a long time was very difficult. Yeah, so 100%. Like, even now, I get borderline terrified of going outside with no makeup on. But I have decided this year for 2020 to be the year where I acknowledge the fact that I don't have to put a face on all the time, and that anxiety and depression don't have a hold over me. I'm gonna fight them with everything that I have. Well, I'm gonna try. You know, just by talking more and getting a conversation going, and hopefully beneath the comment section of this video, we can get a conversation going. And yeah, I definitely feel a lot better now that I've opened up a little bit more. But like I said, my story isn't the same as everyone else, and I know a lot of people are suffering a lot worse than I am, but we've got this. So yeah. Oh, I think I've rambled you on for long enough. Yeah, thanks for watching.